see if it hesitates. Seems to be the norm. It just hesitates. We'll see.
I think we're live.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's possible.
I know. Is it going to play?
Might be playing already. We just can't see it yet. No.
It's something's happening. No. I can't stand this StreamYard nonsense. So, folks, we're live. We've been live for like 30 seconds. The intro sounded like it was going to play. They did not play. I don't know. Other people are confirming what I'm experiencing when I'm starting StreamYard and when I'm ending StreamYard. It has some sort of weird thing going on. I just blame my connection. Nothing makes any sense. By the way, it says there are nobody here. Nobody's here, by the way. Chris Persia's here. Brandon Looney Tunes is here. I'm here on my phone, but it says there's zero here. So, yeah, who knows what to believe and trust these days, gentlemen. So, welcome to Talk Hard. Christian Fandom Geek is here. So, yeah, no intro. Chris, I could try to play it now, but what's the point? I mean, it just...
You should add me to your group on here, and I'll play it for you. Just tell me which one you want me to play, and I'll play it.
Oh, we got to keep you on your toes. Make it all unexpected.
Send it to you. But this happens regularly with StreamYard. Like when you're starting and when you're ending, it'll say it's playing, it won't play. You'll hear it. I'm having this major problem, and it's happening regularly now. It was very intermittent, so I took, I blame my signal, I blame this, I blame that. But now it's kind of like, what is going on? But hey to all of you in chat, welcome to Talk Hard Tuesday with the guys. Here we are, Ironcaster, Stone Loki. Ironcaster, what is going on, my friend? New stream up, the man, talking Common Writer. I'm so proud. I'm so excited to get to it. Yeah, folks.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been over the last year, I've been delving really into a lot of like alternate entertainment because if everything looks like Halo, I don't want to watch whatever is coming out of Hollywood. So I got to go find some other stuff. And yeah, because I love talking about it because I want to talk about this background real quick. I want to show this off. This was a KFC ad made for like Hong Kong, inspired by Kamen Rider, and it's chicken.
Chicken, baby. It's great.
The explosion is chicken. I love this.
Oh yeah. That looks great.
That's a great ad. That's a great ad. Loki, my friend, what's been going on? The mischief has been going and ramping up every morning. I'm enjoying it. What's going on with you, my friend?
Am I here? Am I really here? Is this real?
I think you're here. Does it say you're here? I don't know.
Awesome.
I mean, I see you here.
Talk about mischief. Hey, Pops, am I here? Am I here? Hello? Can anybody hear me? No, man, it's been absolutely great. We're gonna have a great YouTube talk tomorrow, talking about outside influences. We're trying to be creatives. We're trying to work on new things. What happens when we have outside influences badgering us or telling us, oh, well, you've got to do this by this, or you got to do this by then, or you got to achieve this goal by this time. Otherwise, I don't want you to do this anymore. What happens when you got a monkey on your back saying it has to be my way, my way, my way? And you're just trying to do something creative and fun and enjoy this crazy ride on YouTube. What's that like? So, and how do you deal with it? It should be fun tomorrow.
Yeah, it is indeed a boss, and boss come with strings. From my experience doing this. So, but yeah, we'll go back through chat. Chris Persia, I see you out there, brother. The mod of mods, also a member. He's the goat. You, Chris, and all you're doing. See you there. Brandon Looney Tunes guys here as well. Need a break, folks? Make sure you check out Brandon's channel. Christian Fandom Geek from across the pond. Hey, brother. Hope you're doing all right. Man, the awesome streamer as well. Claude is here. Claude, brother. Hope you're hanging in there doing good here. So, Paul meets Minion, another great lady traveling around. Great videos and stuff with her and Simi. Awesome. Makes my day. Love it so much. Whitechapel, my brother. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here as well. Let's see. Low spec Linux laptop coming in, and the G girl, Mr. G girl. All right, says all hail mega explosive chicken. There you go, Ironcaster. G girl's giving you some love for your image and that kind of thing. I don't want to pile on StreamYard anymore than I already have. You keep bringing it up, and there's like a KFC. It's like one of the two closest restaurants to where I'm at. I'm like, I have not had KFC in I don't like forever. So, but listen, so I thought I'd do something a little different this month. Instead of just picking a single film, I thought, well, there's a whole bunch of cool January birthdays. So we're going to pick the first one, and that'd be J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons is one of those actors who doesn't really get the love he deserves. He really has an incredible resume, but he's like one of those character actors, voice actors that a lot of people don't know, other than, and we'll start with the biggest one, when you've become a meme, there's no going back, right? So we're talking about this show. It's like once you're J. Jonah Jameson and the world stops and they keep putting you back out there, you have made something that's historic, right? Like, look, you were talking about, I think about him before I think about the comic book character in some ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah. J. Jonah Jameson, man. There's no one else that is J. Jonah Jameson. He is the live action J. Jonah Jameson. No one's ever going to be able to come in and take his place. It's done. It's finished. Anybody that tries to come in and do it after him, write him off. It's not going to happen because he is the man. The first time, I'll make him infamous. You're like, oh my God, they nailed it. The casting department went above and beyond and found someone that channeled the spirit of J. Jonah Jameson and has become J. Jonah Jameson. No one comes close.
I can't imagine anyone else in the role. Actually, no, that's not true.
You were talking about how he has been included in all the different games and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's like anytime they're gonna, it's almost like he kind of took over that sort of Stan Lee role cameo in a sense, where like it basically got to the point where there are two people they cast, or they would do. It's like we gotta put in a Stan Lee cameo, and we gotta work in J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. It's like those are the two things we've got to do.
Yeah, it's incredible. And that meme, are you serious? And he starts laughing thing has just transcended everything. Just absolutely everything. It's just, and then to have him, I think, okay, I mixed up now because I was just doing something about Far From Home, but No Way Home. They put him out there. They do these things at the end of this movie. They set up this multiverse thing. It's like, man, it is so good. Dude is so perfect. It's like crazy. So yeah, that's really kind of become, I don't know that he's acknowledged that way as the most, yes, there you go. It's just become this iconic meme. It's like, what do you do with that? It's like, it's so perfect. I couldn't agree more. It really is. Yeah, it's awesome. And by the way, Apollo Minion, what the heck's going on? A rough slide on US 95. So she's sitting in Hawthorne, Nevada. Wow. Be safe, lady. Holy crap. It's that. Okay. Wow.
And her timer's going down because anytime she spins in that truck, whether she's going or not, that's how much time she's got. So, sorry.
Yeah.
Follow me's minion.
Shortens the days, messes up your schedule and everything. That stinks, man. So, Abomination AJ hopping up in here. Hey, brother. Yeah, we gotta get hooked up. Do a show. And then Chris is saying, let me tell you what's transcendent: the piece of chicken that was behind Ironcaster. Yes. What was chicken is now that. So it is definitely glorious. So it is really cool though about that. Go ahead.
Oh no, just like saying
it explodes all over your face.
And of course, you got to like strike a heroic pose.
Old Gamer Cutlass is here as well. Yeah, you have to be your pose too. Well, that's your screenshot. You've got to make your pose. Find out how to line yourself up there. Get your pose. That's perfect. So, Old Gamer 72 Cutlass is here as well. Hey, brother. Yeah. But J.K. Simmons is also Gordon, and I have long said with the DCEU, they got so much of the casting. The casting for the DCEU was extremely good or extremely bad. There was no in between. I got to be honest. I was okay with him as Gordon. What did you guys think?
Yeah, no, Gordon was great for, unfortunately, what very little he showed up in the movie as Gordon. Like the part I remember most are the unfortunate thing is like I remember him most from like the behind the scenes photos where he's just working out and he was just getting yoked. Like he was on the Hugh Jackman treatment. I'm like, wait, is Gordon gonna go be the one fighting crime?
If if you
What is he doing?
if you go back and look at some of the animated series and the Arkham games, I would have loved to get Bryan Cranston. If they would have used Bryan Cranston, which I thought they should have done. I don't remember whether it's year one. I think it's year one. The animated movie, Bryan Cranston does the voice of does his voice. I really think he would have been a good Gordon if they'd have used him. He's got the hair, he's got the right hair color. He could have done the mustache, the Gordon cop stash. I really think that they could have used him. I don't know. I didn't get that feeling of Gordon from J.K. Simmons. I wasn't sold on
see this image.
What's his name from
that image looks that's his prep for Tomorrow. I mean, that's literally him in Tomorrow War. That's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, that was like the photos those were the photos they were running with him like working out for the Justice League. Which really unfortunate because whenever we saw him, it was just he's just in a trench coat, like on the rooftop, and that was like about it.
Yeah, they didn't really use him for
I thought that was after. That's why. No, I don't know if it all got cut. I don't know what happened. It just kind of like it seemed like it fell to the wayside. But I thought he had a decent enough look. I thought it was all fine. I'm not saying it great. It was okay. I thought it was fine. So. But I think you're right, Loki. There's other actors like Cranston. But Cranston, again, I'm not sure he'd ever go back and do stuff like that. He's gotten so much bigger since year one was done. I'm not sure we'll get him now. But yeah, it's fine. So let's see. What other do you have another? Okay, well, you pulled up the photo, which the photo that you pulled up before, Ironcaster, I know that was associated with Justice League, but that literally is him in Tomorrow War. Ironcaster, I don't think you said you saw Tomorrow War, so you can pull that picture back up. Loki, I don't know about you, man, but I loved every scene he was in Tomorrow War.
No, I agree. Absolutely nailed it out of the park. When he gets into a role, he dives in. He doesn't just like, oh, well, I'll kind of make it my own. No, he becomes that character. He really does.
He's very underrated. His lines in Tomorrow War just steal the show. He's talking about all sorts of crazy stuff. He's basically like a conspiracy theorist dad of Chris Pratt. And he has like this weird, what's that weird comment that he has about like a dream and pickles and stuff? You're like, what the heck is he talking about? But it was also like freaking hysterical and great. He just nails every moment he's in. And again, like you said, look at him. He is totally jacked. Holy crap. I don't know what kind of roids he took or what he did.
Tell you what he's talking about pickles. That's because he's opened all the pickle jars.
He can with that. Man, look at that dude. Veins and the whole nine. He's gone for it. Have you guys seen the film called The Accountant? Ben Affleck, kind of an action film. I have a review coming up on that, 2016. I give it it's kind of an underrated film in my opinion, because it's one of those things like, oh yeah, another Ben Affleck action film. Like but it's not really an action film. It's more like a cat and mouse kind of thing. They kind of give him more like he has like an Asperger's kind of thing going on. And anyway, J.K. Simmons plays the treasury agent trying to nab this accountant. He doesn't have a ton of screen time, but when he does, it's great. And there's a scene in the end where he starts recounting, and he has this great dialogue and this storytelling. And you can the emotions just literally come right out of the screen and just get a hold of you, of this dude who thinks he's going to die. Because the accountant basically has the gun to his head and says, "Were you a good dad?" It was like, holy crap. What is this guy going to say? How's he going to get him out? How did he live? Because he lived, obviously. He's telling the story. But he has a really passionate speech about, I was a good dad. I didn't screw that up. I might be a crappy agent. I might be just okay at this. I might be okay at that. But I at least tried to be a good dad. So, Old Game says he was a good Jay Jonah. Well, yeah, that's how we started, man. he was rocking J. Jonah. He's the best. He's like, it's become an iconic thing for us as well. I mean, Loki admitted, like, I can't even think of J. Jonah, JJ, without even thinking of J.K. Simmons. Now it's crazy. So,
like, I can't imagine like watching, for example, Critical Drinker videos without seeing that clip pop up.
Yeah, how's it going? I mean, it's like you've become immortalized in this like weird way. So, all right, Chris Purge's got one. It says Simmons playing both versions of Howard Silk in Counterpart. I don't know that. Do you guys know that?
No. I'm curious now.
I don't have that one on my. Yeah, I am too. Loki, you've seen that? Know what we're talking about?
Nope.
Oh, I found one I didn't even realize that he was in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Okay. Yeah, Counterpart. Yeah, that's one of the hidden gems. Yes. So in Ghostbusters Afterlife, what is the guy's name? You have it pulled up. Right? What is the character's name? He's the old guy that's in like the glass coffin that they find inside the relic area. What's his name?
His name was
he's
Ivo
the scientist,
Shandor.
basically.
Ivo Shandor. Yeah.
Yes, he.
I didn't even know that was him.
Yes. Yeah. So
I'll have to watch that again.
Yeah, he transforms. Yeah, crazy. There's a photo. I used it in the thumbnail. Yeah, it was really crazy. And again, I think Loki, you were saying it right. He transforms and immerses himself and just disappears, becomes his character, that kind of thing. So, Abomination is when you see the photo, obviously you get it. But when it's happening in real time, it doesn't like click. But there he is, face to face with Zool, thinking that he's done the right things, and then Shandor gets his. So yeah, doesn't go how he.
With this book,
yeah,
I would love to see him play Baron Munchausen. I think J.K. Simmons could absolutely rock it.
A Baron Munchausen reboot. Yeah, absolutely. He looks incredible. Like, it's such a great look. It's really crazy. All right, Chris Persia. We have to say spoiler alert, right? Chris Persia. John Berthel plays, in that film as well. Yeah, Accountant is a very good film. I really, really appreciate it. So, and Loki, can we even listen to Insurance without thinking of him? I mean, literally, you're part of. Again, this is one of those things too, where like comedians make jokes of people going, the farmers thing. Like, it's like, can you even hear the tune?
We are farmers.
Like, wait, that's J.K. Simmons. Our farmers. Bum, 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 bum. I was like, can we even? But he's part of that. Like, people don't even know who this dude is, and it's like, it's one of those things where you start thinking about and listing off these different things. You're like, holy cow, this guy's footprint is extremely wide and deep in all sorts of things. So, you're Barmy saying, yeah, laugh out loud. JK is Insurance. Yeah, I know. Some of these commercials were great and really tapped into his diversity as an actor. He could pull off all sorts of different angles of things, so the writers for those ads could just be really, really creative. Really, really creative. Now, Ironcaster, you talked about some of the other games, and Abomination AJ hit me up with this. I have no frame of reference. I've not watched this enough to know this. So in Avatar, he plays Tenzin.
That's
you guys familiar with that? He sure does, but yeah, I didn't. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know enough to know, but AJ came right back with somebody. So yeah.
The character in the show is this very serious, stern teacher who he's the son of the protagonist from the first series. So he's kind of like he's a character who's puts a lot of weight on his own shoulders. So he isn't one for a lot of joking and humor. He's very much, we need to be constantly training and prepping and being ready. You're the Avatar. You have a lot of responsibility. You should be improving yourself. It's your destiny, which is always kind of great when his character does sort of break that mold and get a chance to enjoy the moment. Like, he's definitely a highlight of that series.
All right. So, in a clarification, the Counterpart series is actually a series, not a movie. So, and your Barmy is saying it's also one of the favorites. So yeah, cool. And Cannoli Sasquatch is here as well. Hey, Cannoli, how you doing? Loki, what about you? Other voices or stuff like that? This guy's got such a crazy resume, man. I'm just like running down some of the stuff. I'm like, this is nuts.
You'll hear him every once in a while in something. Obviously, he's been in the Spider-Man games. He's in the latest Spider-Man game. I don't know if he's in the Miles Morales one because that's not really Spider-Man, but I do know he's in the Sony Spider-Man.
Is this Miles Morales you speak of?
Yeah, exactly. Who is this Miles Morales guy? But he's been in video games. He's been in multiple Spider-Man games. He's been in multiple Spider-Man cartoons, animation. You can't miss him. You kind of can't miss him. As soon as you hear him, you know, ha! I know who that is because he's J. Jonah Jameson. Whether he's playing that role or not, he's almost been a little typecasted because he is J. Jonah Jameson. We all know him. Like you said, once you meme, how do you come back from being a meme? Well, you keep doing what you do and you keep doing great characters, but it's going to be something that follows him around no matter where he goes. Oh, that's J. Jonah. I know that before I know, J.K. Simmons. So
right, yeah. It says he played Cave Johnson in Portal 2, and then he kind of came back to do it in a couple other things as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. What is that?
I am familiar with that. The Portal series is put up by Valve. It's one of their few the few titles they themselves have put out. Basically, it's this super advanced facility where they build all kinds of future tech, and you have a device that lets you solve puzzles by shooting a blue portal on one. You can make portals between. Make portals to walk through on different surfaces. So there's a lot of puzzle solving, and his character in the game is the CEO of the company. So he sort of facilitates a lot of the things that had happened over the course of the games. And as a result, you get a lot of you wind up coming across a lot of tape decks of recordings of him, and they're just the most unhinged, insane things where he's talking about when life gives you lemons, you take those lemons, you shove them up life, you shove them back in life.
That sounds like J.K. Simmons, all right. Yep. So he has it says he did several episodes of Simpsons. He did several episodes of some other stuff around that same time. Robot Chicken. He did Phineas and Ferb. He did American Dad, Kim Possible. I mean, he did a lot of voice work, that kind of thing. Ben 10. Yeah, cool. Very, very cool. So you kind of bring up some of the hard-nosed elements of J.K. Simmons. So I have to get right to Whiplash. So Whiplash, for those of you who don't know, Whiplash is his Oscar. He won Best Supporting Actor for this role. I have a review I'm going to put together. It'll drop in a few days. And I don't think I'd ever watched it. And I wanted Miles Teller is basically like this, young aspiring jazz musician. He goes to the biggest and best jazz school and ends up running into J.K. Simmons, who runs this little jazz, clash/studio, basically a band. And dude is unchanged. It is it is definitely the cram it up the wazoo, you bunch of limp-wristed blah blah blahs, and you stink. It's literally emotional and at points physical abuse out of the students, and particularly Miles Teller. So a crazy role. It's kind of like that kind of artsy Oscar film, though. It's like a one-time watch for me. I don't think I'd watch it again. But yeah, definitely worthy of the accolades, and I'm happy that he has something on his resume so he can be, I don't want to say part of that club, but for Hollywood people, he can be part of that club. So yeah, AJ, Kim Possible, and Ben 10. I scrolled past it. Let me see if I can pull it back. I pulled it up on my phone just to make sure that I wouldn't speak out of turn. I knew there was lots of them, and it's kind of crazy to me to see so many different things, and I don't even know what to highlight sometimes because there's just so many things that he's done for so long. Okay, Ben 10. He did Magister Gil. It's like a one episode, it sounds like. Yeah, he did that a couple times. And then what was the other thing he mentioned? Oh, Kim Possible. Oh, I saw it. I don't know where it went. It's in here somewhere. So,
You know,
right.
there is
what
one
else,
other
Loki?
really
Oh,
famous
go ahead. Ironcaster, go ahead.
he's gone and voiced.
He's the yellow M&M?
He's the yellow M&M.
No way. I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I did not know he was yellow M&M. That's funny to me. I did not. Wow. I wish people would associate that though and know.
Yeah, I had absolutely no idea. I would have never guessed. Hi, everybody. I'm the dumb one. Really?
Yeah, that's an envelope. Right? Isn't that the one?
Every time you go to the movie theater.
Wow. He plays the mayor, the lion in Zootopia. He plays Kai, which I think is the snake in the Kung Fu Panda movies. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, he's this is nuts. I mean, I know we talked a little bit about how to highlight some of the things that who was the warden in Megamind. I was going to that some of your animation stuff there, Abomination AJ. So yeah, the list is crazy long with some of the stuff. So yeah, I think we talked about the accountant. We talked obviously about J. Jonah Jameson and Gordon, Whiplash, some of the other stuff. I don't know, man. When you think of J.K. Simmons, do you only think of JJJ? What do you think of, Loki?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of the big top role that sort of supersedes everything else. It's kind of like when you think of Ed O'Neill, you can't help but think of Al Bundy.
No, I would absolutely agree with that.
Things. Yeah,
I would absolutely agree with that. What do you think of when you think of Christopher Reeve? So the first thing that comes to mind.
Superman.
Do you know how many films he was in? Do you know he was in a couple of horror movies? He's got a lot on his resume. Yet immediately everyone thinks Superman.
J.K. Simmons was in La La Land. There's a video. Is J.K. Simmons singing in La La Land? I've never watched La La Land. Is that the thing, people in chat? Is that true? And he did Invincible? Your Army? He's the Invincible voice? Oh my gosh. This is
that's his dad. Yeah, that's
the dad, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, man. We are down the rabbit hole. See, we're doing a lot of that live because we only prepared certain things, and now we're down the rabbit hole, and you guys are helping us get there, and I appreciate it. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Holy cow, he is. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Yeah. He was the great cast as Buffalo Bill in. We kind of look at now you pull it up. He almost is like J.K. Simmons animated. Buffalo Bill in Hidalgo. That's got to be perfect casting as well. Yeah, no, this is crazy. Remember Actor Studio where they would sit down and like go through all these different movies? Don't you miss Actor Studio? God, I would love to do Actor Studio with somebody like J.K. Simmons. You could sit for like 2-3 hours and just go through all these different roles and hear him talk about all these different things. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, perfect voice as Omni-Man. Yeah, this guy is everywhere. Yeah, that was kind of the point of doing this. The dude just turned 68, which, to be honest, I was actually shocked that he was 68. I knew he was older than me, but I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen young photos of him too. I didn't think he was actually 68. And just saw him in Tomorrow War, where dude looks like he's roided out. Like he's going to explode from out front of his shirt. And I'm like, holy cow, I started going down the resume, and I didn't even scratch the surface. So Scott Westbrook is here as well. Hey there, my brother. Yeah, J.K. Simmons love. What else you got, Loki? You got another one out there? Something else you can think of? Or you've, like me, you've pulled it up now and you're going through the list. See if there's anything else interesting about it.
I haven't pulled it up yet. I haven't pulled it up. Let me do that right now. And
yeah, he's in Juno, Burn After Reading.
I try not to do that. I try and remember.
I know.
I do my very best to try and remember what someone has done, and sometimes that can be a little bit of an issue. I try not to solely go off of my memory either, because sometimes people get shit wrong. Having him in the as dad in Invincible, I thought that was absolutely great. I just thought that incredible. Yeah. So that was one of those things that I came across that I had no idea about before. I had not read those books before, and someone was like, "You got to watch Invincible," and I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." And absolutely loved the first season. I can't wait for more. He's in The Stand.
The
he
new
plays
one?
General Starkey, in the TV miniseries.
All right.
That's fun enough to meme. If you ever do watch it, there's some differences. But if you meme the shit out of it when you're watching it, you play Mother Abigail. Oh, I'm Mother Abigail, and I'm lost in this damn cornfield. You can have some fun with it.
Very, very cool.
He's been in The Simpsons. He's constantly been in The Simpsons over and over and over again. Robot Chicken.
Archer. Yeah.
So
Archer Brothers.
I don't normally pull up someone's resume like this, but his list is so long, and I'm learning about all of these things. I guess I didn't really go down the rabbit hole. And now that I have, I mean, oh guys, he did the voice. I guess, is there an animated Ultimate Spider-Man? I'm not a fan of Ultimate Spider-Man. They ruined it for me. Now I have like a distaste, even though I can admit that it wasn't bad. He was on like a lot. He basically played JJJ for 40 something episodes. That's crazy.
He was so, the guy's so universally loved in that role that like it's literally anytime they just called him up like, hey, do you want to do some more? You want some more work?
Yeah, he was Jay Jonah in the Lego Marvel superhero movie.
That's crazy. Wow. No, I mean, this was such a fun idea because I thought about, some of the stuff, and then I ran across his birthday, and then I was like, okay, well, I know him as J. Jonah Jameson, Gordon. I could list off about 8-10 different roles. Obviously, we skirted the top. Loki, did you watch Oz? You know what I'm talking about when I talk about Oz?
Yes, I watched Oz. I didn't really like it that much, but
he was freaky, right? He's like part of the reason you don't like the show, right? He's part of the reason that you're uncomfortable is because of his role. Like, it's like, holy crap, dude is like, ugh. Yeah, he icks you out basically. It's like an ugly side of being behind the fence, man. Yeah, it's rough. So, but yeah, the career is just insane. What is really fun to me is like, dude also has a couple of credits on Broadway. I know I joked earlier about like hearing him sing in La La Land, but I'm like, dude, he played Captain Hook on Broadway at one point. That's crazy.
He played the President of the United States in Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. For those of you Gina Carano fans out there, Gina Carano plays a Russian sniper in that game. So that was one of the first like things like that she ever did. She was just, she played a character in a video game. This was before movie and TV for Gina Carano. But I always like the presidents. You always get really cool presidents and really cool generals in those games. So whether they're American, Russian, whatever they are.
It was kind of funny the last few years. People like really warmed up to the fact that what's his name was like the Russian one. I can't think of his name. Sorry, I'm spacing on a name here. Tim Curry. Tim Curry was the Russian
president. Yes. Tim Curry was a Russian. Yeah, he was a Russian general and a Russian president. Yes.
So one of his Simpsons roles was actually to play a newspaper editor who demands the pictures of Spider-Man. That's so good. I'm like, I got to go find that episode. That's great. So, but yeah, he was the voice of the yellow M&M. He replaced John Goodman. He also does voice work for Norelco. Obviously, the Farmers he's been part of Farmers since 2010. Because that's also like iconic. Like, that's just crazy. Yeah. But he's in so many roles. This is nuts. I don't know, guys. We'll go back to chat. Jake and Ironside came up in here. Project Storytime. Always loved him in Cider House Rules. I've never watched Cider House Rules. Have either of you guys watched that?
It's been a while, but yes.
Cool.
No.
All right. I have to check that out. I mean, on my long list of things. Yes, he did win the Academy. He did win the Academy Award for Whiplash. I talked about it briefly. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on Whiplash. Maybe you have seen it. The movie is like one of those one-time hard watches. His performance is off the chain good, though. I mean, just literally, it's insane. It's kind of a combination of Oz and that, crotchety, arrogant, teacher that he can pull off, basically. So, and Monkey Jeep is saying the Ultimate Spider-Man that I made a comment about was actually on the Disney Channel, so it's out there. They own it, so yeah, that makes sense. Cool. So, and by the way, speaking of Jacob Ironside, I will be on with Jacob Ironside at 8:00 tonight Eastern Time. We'll be talking about an old film, 12 Angry Men. I believe it's 1957. So it is definitely in the age that I'm spending some time spinning my wheels in a little bit, where we actually wrote, like, I don't know, dialogue-driven, thought-provoking scripts. I think we're going to have a fun time talking about it. 12 Angry Men is basically about...
No. Thoughtful script, thoughtful, thought out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skirted over something that people actually may not actually know what that is because they haven't seen one in so long. But we see like 3 a year. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I get... Well, because the menu... While I love RRR and Top Gun Maverick, the menu actually needs to be in that same conversation because it is a smart script. Like, holy crap, what a great script. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, guys. I went on a big rant about how good this film was. I was just completely shocked, thinking it was just an artsy foodie movie with whatever. And the next thing I know, I watched it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So
I have not had a chance to watch it yet, but I will say this. So everybody out there knows this. Pops messaged me and was like, dude, have you seen the menu? And I'm like, no, I haven't. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. It's really good. I was like, okay, on my list. And I mentioned that the other day. I don't remember whether it was Friday, what day it was. But I think it was the day or the day after you messaged me and said, you got to watch this movie. And so I mentioned it on the show. And then I get a message either later that night or the next day saying, I don't know what the hell Pops is smoking. This movie sucks. And I was like, oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
You'll have to tell me what they didn't like about it. It's okay. It's okay. To each their own.
I don't know. I don't even remember who sent me that. It's been that kind of week the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I've gotta watch it. And I'll let
it's
you know.
fine. No, man. No, listen, people come back. I had a couple people tell me they also liked it. But listen, if you don't like it, to each their own. I would love to hear what you didn't like about it or why you didn't like it, which is really what I enjoy engaging. That's kind of what makes the fan. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you're out there and you hated the movie. Just put the comment on my video. Like, I hated this movie. Here's why. That's cool. I'm good. I understand. Look, some of these films are not for everybody. Whiplash is definitely one of those. Like, if you're just not into, a heavy drama type thing, it's performance and dialogue driven, it would not be for you because that's what that movie is. But it definitely shows how diverse J.K. Simmons' performance can be. Like, he is definitely, like you said, look, he transforms into these characters that he plays. I mean, it's from, genre stuff that we love to other stuff. Yeah. So, and yeah, Josh has pointed out that 12 Angry Men is a masterpiece. Yeah, it really is just brilliance of execution or whatever. We're going to have a fun time talking about such a, literally, I mean, I'm going to make this pitch. It should be the kind of film people who want to make an independent film can watch, because talk about, you could do a film like this on an uber low budget. It doesn't take that much to think about a way you can write a script like this. Like, basically, it's all like, I mean, all but one scene I think is shot in one room. It's just one room. So, and a lot of extreme close-ups. So it's all about acting and script and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, Reginald Rose did the script, which is a famous Twilight Zone writer. He was fantastic. So let's see. Cannoli says, watched Bullet Train over menu, but it's on my list. Okay, cool. I have not got to Bullet Train yet. It's on my list as well. I've heard mixed things on Bullet Train, but I'm open. So JK is a master of his craft. Yeah, it's just the immersion and the character, being a character actor in the modern era. We just kind of lost sight of it because we're always looking for like these big name stars and Hollywood stars and that kind of thing. And he just kind of has floated on the radar screen with just dozens and dozens of roles. A few things have become iconic and affected it, like we talked about. So yes. Old Gamer is asking if I've seen a show called The Protector. No, I have not, but I will write that down. Old Gamer, thank you so much. I assume that'll be easy for me to find. You guys heard of that before? You guys know what I was talking about?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll make a note. This is the other part of doing this. So yeah, Dean Krantz is saying he liked Bullet Train as well. So no, I heard mixed things on Bullet Train. It's on the list, so I will try to. I'll bump it up a little bit. So
wait, is The Protector you're talking about the 1985 Jackie Chan movie?
Yeah, give us clarification on the Protector. Not sure what that is.
Because I'm just gonna pull up the movie poster real quick because I think this is getting bumped up my list just for just for that alone. Let me.
Oh wow, that would be an Ironcaster must-see for sure.
It's Jackie Chan with a machine gun. Of course, it's up there.
Well, he's saying the series, and since it's on Netflix, I assume he's referring to like maybe a foreign film or something like that. So a foreign show, maybe a sci-fi something or another. There is one out there that I see called The Protector. So yeah, Netflix series he stumbled upon. Okay. Oh. So I guess that's not the Jackie Chan. But you know what, Ironcast, I look forward to seeing your review on Jackie Chan's The Protector. That's the kind of film that if it's not, it should be on Tubi, which is where you love to play.
No, absolutely.
Yes. Which, by the way, is where I watched 12 Angry Men. I watched 12 Angry Men on Tubi. And I'm going to do a video, by the way, on Don't Sleep on Tubi. Here's 8 great films free on Tubi right now. So I'm going to do a video on that. That'll come at least sometime this week. Because
you have to also then go and include the honorable mentions of just shark movies.
I can't. I thought about the Ironcaster only schlock. There actually is a film, I think, on there called Schlock. Like it's just called Schlock. It's not even a schlock. It's called Schlock. Yeah. So, Tony Jaa is the Protector. Oh, they have it. The series that he's talking about, the Protector, is dubbed. They have a dub. So I don't.
Did you ever see
dub by itself?
Did you ever see one of his first movies? It's called Ong Bak.
You're talking about Jackie Chan or
no? Tony Jaa. Tony Jaa.
Oh no. Don't think so.
Okay, so the sequels suck. Absolutely suck. I don't know what the hell happened, but you've got to watch this movie called Ong Bak. Ongbak. It's about Muay Thai. There's this Muay Thai fighter. Has to go on kind of like this quest. This thing in his village gets stolen. This thing went out with a budget of about $1 million. You will not see that. This is like a multi-million-dollar movie. It was filmed excellent. The martial arts, excellent. Special effects, excellent. No stuntman. This guy does all his own shit. He's like catching his leg on fire and doing like flame kicks and all kinds of shit. Like I said, the sequels suck. Just forget about the sequels. But the original movie, that movie is one of the coolest, freaking funniest martial arts movies you will ever see. There's a
good time to do it. It's 20 years old this month.
Yeah, it's 20 years old.
It made $20 million in the box office. What a smash. It's called Ong Bak Muay Thai Warrior.
The Thai Warrior. That's right.
And
you might think it's a little silly because he's sitting there practicing. He's like, monkey lifts the mountain. Tiger, crane kick. And all this crazy shit. But I mean, it's so out of this world crazy. And when you see the stunts, you're going to be like, why is this guy not like Jackie Chan right now? Because that's exactly what I thought. When they showed how they did everything, when they showed how they because there's a scene where he knees a guy on the head and they fall out this window and they literally fall like 2 stories and he lands. This is not, we put down the pads and shit and all. No, none of this is cut. It wasn't pieced together. They did all of this without any stuntmen. And it's some of the best fight scenes you will ever see and some of the funniest shit you will ever see in a movie like this.
Well, you're right. Say it, Ironcaster. I know you're dying to tell us where we can all go watch Ong Bak.
Why, you can find that on Tubi. Both dubbed and subbed.
1, 2, and 3 are on Tubi. Yeah. That's funny. And you're not alone. Abomination AJ says he's down with it. One of his favorite martial arts movies. So cool to that, right? So yeah, 2003, Chris Persia. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I went in theaters, saw that. I just as a this was just a random roll, guys. I was like, you know what? I'm standing here at the movie theater. Why not see a movie? What's this Ong Bak Muay Thai shit? I love Muay Thai. Okay, let's go watch a martial arts movie. And I was just blown away. I took friends to see it. Hell, probably like a quarter of that was me taking people to see it because I was like, I am impressed. This is like something that came out of nowhere. I never saw any commercials for it. I was I was like, why is this not a huge movie right now, considering how popular Jackie Chan was and all this shit? And the guy did it all his own stunts. It's absolutely an awesome movie. Some of the best martial arts fights and some of the funniest, like I said. There is some absolutely funny shit. And I'm talking like slapstick, old school funny shit. Like a guy running through an alleyway who grabs a knife. He's being chased and he turns around and he's got this big knife and he's like, yeah, come on. Multiple people chasing him. And then this old lady walks past them and is like, knives for sale. And he's like, oh shit. And you're like, yes, I want more of this. And they just completely submarine the other two movies. The other two movies have almost nothing to do with the first one. So don't worry about the sequels. The sequels suck. Just worry about the first movie because it's funny. It's hilarious. You'll love it.
All right. Well, I wrote it down, so I have it on my list. Actually, it's on Tubi, so how can I say no? Because, I mean, obviously, if it's on Tubi. So we're taking recommendations. Obviously, J.K. Simmons was our theme. We went through tons of stuff with that. Now we're just kind of having fun, chit-chatting about stuff. Dean says, in the 70s. So get that pulled up here. There are so many kung fu movies with actors that preceded Jackie Chan. Kung fu movies succeeded spaghetti westerns. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously... I'm a huge Sonny Chiba guru. Like I love old Sonny Chiba stuff too. Like it's just more raw than even some of the Bruce Lee stuff was. So love that. So I don't know what Nelson Studio's talking about. I don't know. Just in a bad mood. I don't know. That's what he says. So who knows what's going on there. Sorry, brother. Hang in there, my friend. Hopefully we're giving you some sort of escape. That stuff. White Castle's throwing down the Ombak. Yeah, if you haven't seen on the Ombak, join me on Tubi. We'll be on there. I'll be throwing that together sometime this month. I'll do it this month. So 20th anniversary. How can I say no? I'm a prostitute for anniversary stuff, so it's always fun. Birthdays and anniversaries, reasons to talk about something like that. Why not?
Pops, you know what's going to happen though. You're going to go on Tubi, and the first thing it's going to say is, "Would you like to keep watching Sharks of the Corn?"
Well, no, actually, what Tubi does is it keeps reminding me, have you forgotten about Thanksgiving? That I have never watched, but it still thinks that I want to. And I'm like, no, I have moved on, Tubi. You do not need to remind me of that. And then it's like, because you've shown interest in Sharks of the Corn, it has a list of things that it wants me to watch. So while I didn't finish Sharks of the Corn, it thinks that I like Sharks of the Corn enough that I would want to watch Shark's Treasure. Let's see what else is it. Avalanche Sharks, Raging Sharks, Dam Sharks, Sand Sharks, The Sharks, Sky Sharks. Yeah, Shark, Surfing a Shark. How can you be surfing a shark? Shark School, Shark Zone, Dark Waters. That's changed up a little bit. Bait. Yeah.
You know, we need more killer things, but we need more food in there. That's why I'm gonna propose Attack of the Killer Donuts. Just to change it up a little bit.
Attack of the Killer Donuts.
The Killer Donuts, they come for you. Yes.
Eat you up. And all the cops do.
Oh man, Dean, talk about the world colliding. So today, because I watched 12 Angry Men, which is starring Henry Fonda, I was looking at Henry Fonda films, and this is one of those that I have to rewatch. You're absolutely right. My Name is Nobody. Henry Fonda films, by the way. Henry Fonda is one of those actors, like, it's just like one of those things where he just preceded us. So a lot of us don't have as much of an appreciation, but then when you actually give his stuff time, it's just incredible. It's kind of like the way I felt about Steve McQueen. Went way down the Steve McQueen rabbit hole because I want to do a thing where we talk about Bullet. You guys watch Bullet? You ever seen Bullet?
I don't think I have.
Oh, Loki? You're gonna have to remind me what it's about.
So he's a detective in San Francisco, but it's the one where he's driving the black car, which you guys in chat want to know the exact model of this car. But it was a real chase scene. Like they destroyed 3 of those cars in the chase scene. Like this is not some, they don't use CGI back then. They don't, this was like these crazy. Anyway, if you guys pull up the bullet car, Ironcaster, and then Loki will remember the movie because it literally is this classic action chase film. It's just absolute classic. It's on my radar screen to rewatch again. I watch Bullet once a year because Steve McQueen
1996.
What?
No. Oh, you're talking about
no,
Steve McQueen. Yes.
I'm talking about
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
McQueen.
I've got the
not
movie.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
I
like
thought you were talking about
68.
something else. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bullet. Well, yeah. So, yeah, Henry Fonda's kind of in that same class of these like elite actors who have this 68 Ford Mustang, the slant back, right? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Guys, help me
Yep.
out. I don't know exactly, but this car is amazing. It's beautiful. And I have like a special place for Steve McQueen. That's a different story for a different time. But yeah, there it is. Oh my gosh, they destroyed 3 of these things in this film. They actually have an actual chase. It's like there was no, special. I mean, it's just incredible. It truly and just incredible stuff. So yeah, they destroy a Charger. Yeah, old gamer. We totally understand. Yeah, they destroy cars. Oh yeah, Vanishing Point is another one. I love car chase movies and stuff. So yeah. So. Yeah, no, I'm gonna probably put Bullet on my. I'm doing the Thursday throwbacks now, so I'm probably gonna put that on one of my throwbacks. Let's do a re-review of that because that's just incredible. So yeah, Vanishing Point's another good film. Absolutely. Yeah, Dean Krantz, man, we're cut from the same cloth, man. All right, we've totally jumped the topic at all. I mean, like crazy. I don't even know. I don't even know how we got to where we are. Poor J.K. Simmons. We were just kind of driven all over the road. So. And by the way, I don't want to go back to Scott because Scott threw another one out there for you, Ironcaster. Llamageddon.
Oh,
Llamageddon. Is that a thing? Yeah, let's see what Llamageddon looks like.
I am not surprised to see that. Oh my! This is a freaking YouTube thumbnail. The poster for this, it is basically a glorified YouTube thumbnail. I think Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers made this poster.
Oh, maybe. Yep, could be. Llamageddon.
It's a llama with laser eyes.
That's so ridiculously funny. It's so funny. Yeah. Oh, Adega's correcting me. I said slamback. It's a fastback. That's true. I'm sorry about that, man. You're absolutely right. 1968. They hit under the hood. Yeah. Yeah. This is so good. They'll have to see the motor. Yeah, it's freaking incredible. This film, way ahead of its time. Bullet 1968. Yeah. Yeah, Llamageddon. Thanks for that, Scott. That's going to hurt. We're going to hear about that with Ironcaster. Why is there not a schlock playlist, man? You got to start doing reviews. Just throw together 5 minutes. Who knows? It's crazy. Yes. Oh, yeah.
I'm writing it down.
So we got to have schlock. You can be the master of schlock in this little space. I'm telling you. So, okay, I got like 16 windows pulled up and I don't know what to do. It's like I have like Tony Jaa open and Batman Year One is still open. Movies. Poor J.K. Simmons. He got drowned out on his own topic show. I feel bad.
He got trumped by llamas.
Well, that was the latest catastrophe. So anyway, so besides like the incredible element of like Spider-Man, obviously we've set that aside. And Farmers Insurance. Is there any other
farmers?
Is there anything that stands out? Do you like now that we've talked about it or whatever, is there a certain role or something you can think about J.K. Simmons? I'm blown away that he's done even way more voice acting and stuff than I even knew. Like, this is crazy.
That I would say that first off is the first thing you think of. What an incredible voice actor, and not just because he can do J. Jonah Jameson, because he can change. He can change that. He is an absolutely wonderful voice actor. Right up there with someone like Kevin Conroy, late great Kevin Conroy. God rest, God bless him. He is an incredible voice actor and an incredible character actor.
True, very, very, very true. Yeah, Adegas, we're still touching up on some residual conversation. Steve McQueen is who Tom Cruise wishes he was. Well, Tom Cruise cannot. I mean, he is more like the cute to the ladies, whereas more like Steve McQueen is like, awesome. So and Zax is here. Hey, Zax, my brother. Yeah, Dean, I really have to admit too, if I found my tomorrow, I may go back and add some stuff to this description and put my link to the Tomorrow War review, because the movie is kind of a mess. Like, it doesn't know quite what it wants to be, but every scene J.K. Simmons in is absolutely insanely fun. Like, it's just so good. Okay, holy crap. What are you talking about now? Ginger Dead Man? Is that a campy psychotic gingerbread man, or is that just like, that's not a J.K. Simmons thing? It's got to be a Tubi thing, right?
That's the Gary one Busey. With Gary Busey. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Gary.
He is the ginger dead man. It's right up there with like Shrunken Heads and
Okay,
Puppet Master and all those.
Evil Bong.
Evil Bong. Yeah.
PJ is here.
I
Hey, brother. Old Gamer is a vehicle fan. Movie vehicles. Yeah, totally get you, man. Totally get it. So, Saggy Melons in the house. Holy cow. Talk about a crazy lady. Love you, lady.
What is up, Saggy?
Saggy was Loki was our first What's Your Story on this channel. Saggy was number 2. That dropped on Sunday mornings. The next one coming up this Sunday is going to be Fat Steven Seagal. So if you think we've been having fun, it's just going to keep continuing. I promise you. Hail to you, Saggy. Thanks for being here, my lady. You're awesome. Thank you for doing that. And Mr. CCDV is also in the house. Thank you. Says keep rocking it. Keep rocking it. So Gary Busey, the Ginger Dead Man, the campy psychotic gingerbread man on the loose. Holy cow. I don't know that he has to act for that role. I mean, JK's, would immerse himself as the Ginger Dead. I could see J.K. Simmons being like the cop, like, with a main character set out to get the Ginger Dead Man. That would make sense.
On Sunday he has to fight the Ginger Dead Man. On Tuesday he has to fight the Killer Donuts.
Oh yes, work his way up to the killer tomatoes. Yeah, work his way up. So
yeah. And all this before Thanksgiving.
Yes. So yeah, chat's crazy. So okay, so I think Dean is talking about The Accountant. As I talked about earlier, like not a lot of there's not a lot of J.K. Simmons, but when he's there, again, stills the scene. But there is this one emotional part later on in that film that just totally like gets you. You're like, holy cow, he pulls that off. So, yeah. So, okay, Ironcaster, you talked about not knowing a lot of these roles and stuff that he's done. Is there one that we talked about where you're like, oh man, I should check that out then? I should check that out.
I mean, Whiplash is definitely on that list of ones I do need to get to, just because it's the Academy, it's the award nod.
Yeah. He is like one of these. It's so you kind of got to sit there, and like I'm shocked Loki has not sat through it because it's just like this crazy teacher. Like he's just insane. He's completely nuts, and of course it goes sideways, and then it tries to go sideways again, but it does keep you off kilter enough. But his performance, and you're just like, holy cow. You could not make this film today, folks. I'm shocked that they even allow this to exist. Like it literally is like it's kind of right there with me with like Blazing Saddles and stuff. I have no idea why they're allowing this film to sort of exist. I mean, it's just like it's hardcore, the stuff he says and does to people in this film. Like it's crazy. So, but I think Loki's right. I think it really is the voice acting, like all these animated roles and stuff. I mean, that you're talking about dozens and dozens of shows and episodes of TV this dude has been on doing voices and different voices, like you said. So
for myself though, I think now that I'm aware of it, it's got to be the yellow M&M. That's the role I think of now.
That's a huge one. I didn't see that one coming. I did not know that. Tony Stark popped in, by the way, throwing us down a love and a like. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that.
What's up, Tony? PJ's here too. Hail.
PJ. Yeah, PJ's been here. Yeah. Love you 2000. Love you 1000. So yeah, CCD TV. Yeah, Oz. Oz was definitely one of the first things that's kind of like scarred into my brain when I think about J.K. Simmons, and not in a good way. Like, oh, like he really pulls off the character that you love to hate, like in a very like disturbing way. Like, yeah, I'm totally down with why that role would be one of the people think about, because it's like, So, but yeah, no, it's been fun to sort of reminisce about his resume. I don't know that I see anything else in here that I think we should kind of, or at least have maybe Ironcaster pull up. But I can say that his schedule is not slowing down, dude. He just did another animated thing. He was the Rescue Ranger, that Chip and Dale thing, right? He was just doing that.
Oh yeah.
He just did that. So, I mean, it's not like this guy is like slowing down even during the pandemic. You're like, all right, well, I'll probably phone in a voice role. He did a Marmaduke. He did an animated Marmaduke. He did, they're filming something where he's playing Santa Claus in something called Red One. It sounds like Oh, it's got The Rock and Chris Evans in it. Oh boy, they make it hard for me to want to go see something, right? Oh, it's the guy that did Jumanji, Jake Kasdan. Anyway, J.K. Simmons is Santa Claus. It does not
He's
say
got
it's
more Invincible
animated.
coming.
What's that?
He's got more Invincible coming.
Yes, definitely. That's
yeah,
probably
a new
already
season of
done.
Invincible coming out this year.
Yeah, that's probably already done. I assume, yeah, dude's definitely got stuff going. Because Our Men from Jersey, an American action thriller with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry. Halle Berry still doing a film? Boy, her name's not thrown around anymore. So yeah, that's a Netflix film. It's called Our Man from Jersey. Comes out this year. So yeah, J.K. Simmons is still running that resume, man. Man, it wouldn't be a cool talk to that guy. Maybe we should figure out how to get a hold of his agent or somebody. Talk hard with J.K. Simmons. We wouldn't be able to keep a straight face because all we'd be sitting here was just thinking about freaking JJJ. That's all we would be doing. It'd be bad. We would not be good. They're probably not. That's probably not as much fun as we think it is. So, yeah, Mr. CCDV. Yeah, that's kind of why I picked the name. Like he's just like, and it's also one of those best character actors who has done dozens of things. Like we said, I did not know Yellow Eminem like at all. Even with what little prep I did for this and that part, not stuff I knew off the top of my head, I did not get Yellow Eminem at all. That's still like that one gets me. Like, what on earth? He is the dumb one, right? He's the envelope guy.
He's been that way since like the 90s. He's been the yellow. So
we've got Invincible season 2 this month.
Oh, it's already due? Oh man,
it's already due. So this was 6 days ago. It says Invincible season 2 coming this month, and this is from who the hell am I looking at here? Tech Radar.
Okay, all right. Invincible season 2. Expect J.K. Simmons there. I'm the man. I'll be back. It makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of issues of that comic book. I'm not real familiar with the source material. I like elements of season 1. I have a big issue with the idea evil Superman gets old for me, but I'm happy to give it another go. Let's see.
But it's not Superman. It's somebody else. See, this is a big thing. I have a problem with evil Superman. I don't like evil Superman. I read through the Injustice books. I think I got to like the 8th or 9th season of whatever book catalog it was, and I was just like, okay, I'm just tired of this. I got to the point where he got a yellow ring. He got a yellow lantern ring. So he's got all his powers plus the powers of a yellow lantern. And I was just like, I'm tired of this. It's not Superman. So I'm absolutely okay with that. It's not Superman. Is he like Superman? Yes, but it's not Superman. He's not Clark Kent. He's not Superman in any way, shape, or form. Let him be a bad guy. Let him be a fool. Let him have fooled the world and let people think whatever they want to. As long as it's not freaking Superman. We keep telling people, if you want to do stuff like this, go off and make your own book. Well, guess what? They went off and they made their own book and they made their own story. A lot of respect for that.
That's true. I give it that. So let me go back to my point. I guess to clarify or to be more specific would be, there was really no revelation of what his weaknesses are. Like, I don't quite understand. Like, you know what I mean? One of my issues with Superman, even reading the comic book, and you're a way bigger fan than I am, is like the list of things that you can do to hurt him are not always clear. And then, of course, they're not consistent. They want to change the rules all the time. So with Invincible, it would have been better if we had just a little brief episode, especially when maybe he was training the kid of like the certain things that actually can hurt you. Like, give me some definitions. Like, even if we don't have to spin our wheels there, so we can have a better understanding of how characters are defeated. That's all. So, Dean Krantz says, "Yeah, we can ask about this. The Rock is entering the Bruce Willis phase. Throw money at him, and he will take the role." Yeah, yeah. Inflated head syndrome with The Rock. That's for sure. So, especially now that I have read the new 52. Justice League issues where basically the Shazam movie was birthed out of, and you can see basically The Rock was, no, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm going to fight Superman. And they just contrived everything else around that story is exact. Basically, they just delete Black Adam from it, and the story definitely suffered, even though I found the Shazam movie okay. So, yeah. Tony Stark has the Invincible comics, man.
Nice.
Good on you, man. Those are nice. Yeah, that's good.
like I said, I had no idea about this until someone said, "Hey, have you seen Invincible?" So I hadn't read the books. I'm not going to read the books. I want to watch the show. I thought about getting all the books as soon as that first season came out, but I want to be surprised. I'm not going to let anybody ruin it for me. Just don't say nothing, Tony. Nothing.
Yeah, don't keep it to yourself, man. Yeah, CCTV said the same thing. So listen, yeah, whenever that first episode, right? The death and dismay, just like, whoa, what am I watching? So Dean says evil. Go ahead. Evil is the only thing that Hollywood can write. Yeah, I know.
I'll just say that, like, from a little bit I've picked up, thanks to a coworker he won't shut up about the book. It's like, it's largely a lot. You're getting a lot more of that throughout it. It's going to be more just kind of dialed up. Like you get like all of you get a bunch of like their people showing up, and I haven't watched. I don't really have the context of much of this beyond just kind of vaguely being told things.
Okay. No, I'm down. Steven Ransom's here. It says, "Hail to Pops, Loki, Shark Boy," in chat. Okay.
What's up, Steven?
Hey, Steven. Thanks for being here, man. Tony's got to head back. Hey, man, thanks for popping in here and hanging out with my friend. Let's see. Won't spoil. Promise to see you guys soon. Yeah, cool, man. All right. So let's see what's top of our list. Obviously, the JJ. We all agree on the JJJ. We agree on farmers, and now the yellow M&M. Those are like J.K. Simmons' resume is now being restructured. I will tell you that my second tier would be this character that he plays, or a hybrid thereof, of like the Oz / whiplash character. And then you get into some of these different, the cop roles, right? Not really Gordon. You're right about Gordon. It's kind of a letdown because he really wasn't on screen time. But the accountant is a perfect example. He's basically, he's like the cop, right? So, but yeah, the amount of video games and TV shows and this animated voiceover stuff, man, that's a lot of stuff. We wish there was a super clip.
He's done so many shows. Like I'm scrolling down the list.
The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. It's like, what? I don't even know what the Life and Times of Tim.
I remember
that. He did a Brave and the Bold.
He was on Pete and Pete.
Oh, Generation Rex. Pound Puppies. What on earth? Pound Puppies. How on earth could J.K. Simmons? How could he be a pound puppy? Okay, he says he's Mr. Withers or Lieutenant Rock. All right, well, Lieutenant Rock makes sense. He's like the gruff puppy.
He played another cop.
Yep. He did J. Jonah Jameson for Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Obviously, we mentioned the Ultimate Spider-Man. Obviously, that's the Lego Marvel superhero stuff. You got Maximum Overload. You have there's a Carnage one he did. Wow, yeah, man, it just keeps going. Like BoJack Horseman. Gravity Falls. Major Laser. I mean, it just never goes. Archer had 4 episodes on Archer. He did a SpongeBob. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a dude that's working, man. He is working. We have to give some mad respect for someone who's just, pounding the pavement, working hard, delivering it every chance he can. That's great. So, yeah. So CCTV is making a Bible reference about the evil stuff that Dean was talking about earlier. Good is evil and evil is good. Run for the hills. Yeah, that's definitely that kind of thing. Canoli's going to be on with me later on. Later to you, my brother. He's going to be on at 8:00. We over on Jacob Ironside's channel talking about that 12 Angry Men. So we'll be talking about that film. Let's see. Yeah, Dean, totally get this point, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it hard to watch books and movies that have been adapted?
Sometimes. I know for me, like Lord of the Rings, there were times I wish I didn't know what was going to happen. But then again, I got some surprises. I got surprises when I watched Lord of the Rings. So they did change up a couple of things, and some things some people took very seriously. Some people didn't. I knew people that had a problem with the elves showing up at Helm's Deep. I thought that was the greatest addition Peter Jackson did compared to what was in the books, is the elves showing up and fulfilling their promise to fight alongside men, their age-old alliance. So I don't know. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad.
Yeah. we can definitely hang our hat on the good sometimes. What about you, Ironcaster? It's hard sometimes.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I suppose it ultimately depends on just like how attached am I to the material that they're adapting. Do I want to see? I mean, it's like it's part of the nature of adapting that things are going to have to change just because you can't get the same flow of like one page, 1 minute of screen time. So you have to kind of figure out. It becomes a big question of how much of this is truly necessary to get the core essence of the character, of the scene, of all these other things. But that said, it seems like these days throw the source material out is the big go-to. Tell the actors don't watch the material. Don't watch the game your character's based on, because no, of course we don't want to do that with The Last of Us.
Yeah, so for me, it used to be that when you had a book or a comic book series, something like that, it was like, okay, they're going to cut it down because they don't have time. So it's time constraints, right? But now there's such radical changes, I get irritated. Like I actually just did my video on Flashpoint, the Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox. I know, Loki, you've seen it by now for sure.
Yeah.
And I was so radically disappointed, not only with the animation, because I railed about, why the freaking Aquaman's drawn like that, stuff like that. But the comic book series, for those of you that hear about the people who love it and they love like Flashpoint Batman and they love these different, it's because this was fleshed out in the comic books and it was so good. And they literally cowardly went away from some of it and made changes that don't make sense. It don't make the story better, make it completely weak and almost like holes in the story and the logic. So yeah, I definitely get where Dean's coming from. I know it's kind of a hit and miss. We hang our hats on the success stories, I guess, basically. Shelby's here. Shelby loves. Hey there. Hope you're doing well. And says Flapjack is an awesome show. Cool. Yeah, my kids like Flapjack. Oh yeah, he is a cop in Terminator Genesis. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's a good point. He was actually a cop in that too, and he was also because he's the one that had survived Arnold's attack in the original, and he was the one piecing together that Arnold was back. I got that now. You're right. Movie totally stuck, by the way. Yeah, Pete and Pete. Adam West is the principal. Hail, R.I.P. Adam West.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about Whiplash a little bit. You can catch it on the replay a little bit. I have a review. I just did a rewatch. I did a watch of that film. So I'll have a review coming out soon, Steven. You can hit me up on that in the comments or whatever. So old time bad guy, the twirly mustache, time takes to grow. Okay. Cool. Journeyman actor gets his mad respect. Yeah, I don't even know that he's journeyman anymore. Like it's just a different time. Like things are just different now, and especially with voice acting. And we keep going full circle with this sort of analysis, guys. But it's like we're kind of really blown away with the amount of voice work this guy has done. Like it's crazy. It is crazy. So. Steven's talking about some of the adaptations that have gone well, like the sci-fi Dune, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Okay, cool. I like The Case of Benjamin Button. Is actually a pretty good adaptation. I'm not familiar enough with the source material and the other two things. I've never really read Dune at all. So, Loki, what's your thought? White chap. Go ahead. Which one?
Dune's always kind of a tricky one. Dune.
Well, I always heard the sci-fi one was definitely more comprehensive and detailed and aligned with the book. But of course, the new movies now, we're talking about like, it's going to be like 6 hours of screen time. So we'll see how people feel with the second film.
And you're right. The difference was quality. The sci-fi one was a lot closer to the books, but the quality, I mean, they had laughable outfits. It looked cheap. The look of those movies is cheap. Yes. Are they close to what they should be? Yes, they're close to what they should be, but it looks really cheap. There are people that will get defensive and all kinds of shit about that. Oh my God, those movies are the best. Da, 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 da. They look cheap. I'm sorry. I like them too, but they look cheap.
Yeah.
They just didn't want to spend anything on the wardrobe, on the scenes. The CGI is crap. I'm honest. You want me to be honest? I'm honest with you, but hopefully we'll get a good part 2 and maybe some more follow-up stuff. I don't know.
Well, I said it's one of the few films I wanted to see in the theater because of the theatrical experience of it all. Like you're just selling yourself short if you're watching it on your phone. Like I watched part 1 on my phone, and I was so disappointed I didn't see it in a theater. Like it's made for a theatrical look.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah,
it absolutely is.
Yeah,
I saw.
I'm not a Dune person. Yeah,
I saw it in 4X. So I saw it in 4X, and then I watched it here with Eris, and then I saw it in the whatever 3DX with Mexican Iron Man, and then I took Eris back to the 4X theater I went to, and she saw it, and she goes, "It's a completely different movie sitting here watching it like this." And I said, "Hell yeah, it is. Hell yes, it is."
Yeah. So what do you think about this comment Whitechapel made about the Oathbreakers army scene?
Oh, but what did he say?
He's just saying Lord of the Rings scene with the Oathbreakers army. I don't know if he's saying positive or negative. I just wanted your thoughts.
In the movie, you're talking about the movie.
Yeah,
I hate how they cut it down in the theatrical version. So I don't even watch the theatrical version anymore. So I probably haven't seen the theatrical version of those movies since they first came out. So everything after that has been, I will not watch those movies if I can't watch the extended edition. Those are the only ones I watch. And I got to go back to the theater and see all 3 in extended edition. In one day, I spent all day at the theater. I think it was like 14 hours in total.
Yeah, because each film little breaks 3 hours. Yeah, with a break time. Yeah. He's liking J.K. Simmons to Gene Hackman. That's interesting. I don't know that. Well, Gene's from a different era, so it's just a different type of working actor. Plus, Gene had like more of a leading man type role back in the day than J.K. Simmons has ever been given. So, a little bit of love for that TV miniseries, and then so throw that out there, and then the theatrical use of lighting. That's the Dune stuff, I assume. CCTV is a Dune good. All right, let's do it. So. Oh, Adega, no theaters. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, 40 miles. Yeah, I know. It's rough. Tooth and nail about how bad The Hobbit was. Oh, okay. Well, the biggest issue with The Hobbit is the studio did it, right? The studio
That's right.
Supposed to be 2 films. I mean, I think the 3. And next thing you know, they're just making up crap to fill up some time. And he felt like he had to make 3-hour movies. He couldn't make 2-hour movies.
And it wasn't supposed to be Peter Jackson making those 2 movies. He came in as like, well, shit, what do we do now? Okay, fine, I'll do it. So that's a totally different attitude to step into than what he went into wanting to do Lord of the Rings.
Let me ask your opinions on this, because we're on this adaptation thing, and J.K. Simmons was. I don't even know. I don't even care enough to try to figure out how much more J.K. Simmons was supposed to be Gordon in the Justice League. But I've reread the New 52 Justice League, and I will say the first 4 or 5 issues, Jeff Johns puts together basically the premise that was for the movie. But there's, it's basically Darkseid. We don't get all the Steppenwolf nonsense. There's mystery boxes. The characters just come together for the first time and all that kind of thing. Do you guys remember enough about was this a Jeff Johns issue, a Zack Snyder's issue, or a studio issue of making all these radical changes to that story? Because the crux of the story is not terrible.
Yes. Ironcaster, yes.
Says yes. Good point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I got to be honest. I don't remember the lead up enough to remember who was more to blame in that. Because you can see that Jeff Johns actually knows how to write comic books at that point. I'm going to do a video about the Aquaman stuff because they were going to do a Trench movie. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. They were going to do like a horror movie called The Trench. So I read that to kind of give you my take on that a little bit. But just because the Justice League thing, Gordon is like non-existent in the Justice League story that they were going for with this movie. So the fact that they threw all this together for BVS and then Justice League, it's just, I don't know. I blame Snyder a lot more than the Snyder Bros do. That's for sure. They let him have a complete pass, and I do not go for that. So. Lots of love for Gene Hackman now, and then of course his role is Luthor in the '78 Superman. Christopher Reeves is the Superman. Yeah, gotcha. So, I don't know, guys. Did you guys have fun discussing J.K. Simmons? Is it kind of fun to just kind of like learn on the fly like this? Because I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I said, we're not going to sit up here and try to pretend we're some experts of cinematography and filmography. So it's just kind of it's a really natural kind of conversation as we're just kind of going around and kind of figuring this out, like getting a chance to pull out the sort of on the fly of the yellow M&M. I mean, I had kind of known it, but I figured that was a little more common knowledge.
Well, he also, like, I mean, we didn't really get down this thing, but he's not in the news. He's been married to the same woman since '96. I don't really know anything about his politics and all of his nonsense. It's like he's not like a Twitter crazy person or anything. Like, he's just a dude doing his acting. Like, isn't that refreshing? Can we highlight that for a change? Like, that's great. Stephen Ransom says the Justice League was all three. Like, they just had issues. Snyder was having issues with WB, and yeah, it seems like the triangle of them could not get it worked out. It makes no sense to me because the whole point of the Flashpoint was to reset everything, and then when comic books are like, I don't understand what you reset to, because you created 3 different Supermen. Your Aquaman doesn't match. Green Lantern doesn't really match. And by the way, he is totally written in the comic book in New 52 to be Ryan Reynolds. Like, I don't know if that was what they were trying to go for, but it literally reads just like Ryan Reynolds is saying every one of those lines. I'm sorry, people who love GL, sorry, Max and Iron Man, but to me, it doesn't read like a Hal Jordan. I was like, oh, this does not feel right. It just seems like a mess. So,
what do you mean? Are you talking about the Green Lantern movie?
No, the New 52 comic book, the Justice League, that should have been like, there was no reason not to put Green Lantern in the Justice League. We didn't need to have standalone movies and all this. I know people do say that, but the way it's explained in the comic book is they do the reset after Flashpoint. They're all thrown together. It starts off with the boxes. We don't know anything about these boxes. Flash and Batman are talking. They get together and gradually they're adding people, and they decide to go see Superman and stuff like that. But they kind of explain their powers because they've never met before. So you don't have to have these big lead ups on things. Like, they literally have a conversation about Cyborg. Like, Cyborg, oh, you mean you can tap in? Yeah, I can do this and I can do that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Do that. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to do this. It's like, okay.
You know,
it's easily been a movie.
Ask anybody that watched Batman versus Superman. What's your favorite part of that movie? 99.9% of the people are going to say when Wonder Woman just shows up and starts kicking ass.
Yep.
Okay. That is the most memorable part of that movie. Not once did you get any explanation of what Wonder Woman was. You got Diana Prince, who no one really knows about, but everybody knows who she is. But in this movie, no one really knows about her. It's never explained what she is. It never explains what she does. She just shows up and starts kicking ass, and everyone went, yes, to that kick-ass music that she drops into. Yep. That's all you have to do. And WB is so far up its own ass, they don't realize that this is how you can introduce a great character and have them kick some ass. You wanted a badass way to bring in a Lantern in the last movie, have him come in and defeat what's his name, and close some portal that he was going to open and let Darkseid in and stop it. Yep. And then have him explain to them, we cannot let this happen because there's a monster even worse than him that's going to walk through that portal and take us all down that we can't stand up against yet. And that's how you introduce a kick-ass Lantern. Right there.
Do you bleed?
Bleed? It's like, oh wait, you're like a space cop. You're like here to protect Earth, and like, yeah, that's what I do. What can you do? Well, I can do anything in his imagination. He like makes a train at one point. He just does. So it's like the comic book is so well done, and that somehow the studio / Snyder allowed it all to get derailed. It was just very frustrating. I didn't really plan on doing a video on it, but now that we're talking about it more, I almost feel like doing a video. Like, how did this go? Like we need to hang more blame around whatever Snyder and WB's part and all that was, because Johns did not write terrible stories for some of the stuff, but we can see that Johns is really the precursor to the Snyderverse. You're not getting Snyderverse if you're not getting Johns, because the Trench, the Aquaman, all these different things were totally ripped out of his work. And by the way, Amber Heard is by far, she and Jason Momoa were the worst casting. I know Ezra Miller as well. So these three were so badly cast. The Mira that's in the Aquaman comic book that Johns is writing has such an incredible, like, I hate this term, but like a gravitas, right? It's what people actually mean when they say gravitas. Like, she has like a presence, like she matters. And you get Amber Heard, you're just like, who are you again? You feel like you're a sorority girl that snuck in or something. Like, what are you doing here? It just it's never felt right to me. So we have derailed yet again. And there we go. Let's see. Chris says it's nice to discover some gems from the old J.K. Simmons list. Yes, cool. Steven is throwing out some more Gene Hackman love. Obviously, Unforgiven, one of my two, arguably one of the three best Westerns. Three completely different Westerns can duke it out over who's number one, in my opinion.
The Duck of Death, Pops. The Duck.
Yes. The Duck. Yes. Flashpoint, Reset, New 52, Johns. God is New 52 right from the start from Snyderverse. Yeah, it's kind of a muddled mess. That's why I went back to it, because I wanted to basically refresh myself with some of this stuff, because I don't know what they're going to pull from. And since they wanted to go back to young Superman, that's kind of where some of that stuff is. So I thought, well, let me see what they've been doing so I can get an idea. So let's see. Yeah, there were just a lot of love. Warner Brothers should have a class action lawsuit. Dropping the ball does not cover it. The animated stuff is proof they still could do it right. It's sad. Yeah. I'm with you on this Jon Stewart thing, man. I got to be honest. I know it totally triggers Mexican Iron Man when I bring it up, but Jon Stewart was a huge part of the animated Justice League. So a lot of people are totally cool, and there's no reason to rewrite Green Lantern lore or get into it. Just make a Jon Stewart movie. Like, I don't understand. So Green Arrow stories, lots of stuff here. So
but really they need to just like cut to the chase and do Green Lantern Corps and just have all four.
Well, that was what they originally greenlit back in the day when they announced 12 movies at one time or whatever it was. It was called the Green Lantern Corps. It wasn't called Green Lantern. It was just called the Green Lantern Corps. So it was in there. It was all, but it wasn't planned from the get-go. He was supposed to get his own movie later on. It was just such a mess. Cyborg was supposed to have his own movie. It's just, I don't know. And we're in the same boat again, where everything is just turned to crap. So we get to have our love by finding J.K. Simmons things that we like and love so much, because it's hard to find good things. But what you do get good every morning, Dempsey's here, by the way. Hey, Dempsey. How you doing, my friend? Warnings of mischief with this guy down here below. Loki every day. We're doing YouTube Talk tomorrow. What's YouTube Talk going to be on again? I'm sorry.
YouTube talks about outside influences when you're trying to just do your channel. Oh, well, you got to have this done by this date. Oh, you better have this many subscribers by this date, or you got to stop. People telling you what to do. People telling you how to run your channel. People telling you that you need to do this and that before you're even in out of your diapers yet when you start. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow.
That's good. That's real good. As someone who has played in that pool with bosses, for lack of a better term, and deadlines and stuff. Yeah, I find I have a different approach to YouTube. If you get yourself caught up in all that nonsense, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. But to each their own.
Exactly.
What about you, Ironcaster? Is there another Kamen Rider video? Is there going to be some Tubi schlock coming my way? Give me some hope, man. Give me something.
I think we're gonna be gunning for that. But in the meantime, I am doing some. I do a little YouTube live stream series. I'm calling tentatively Ride On, as we're talking about some Kamen Rider. I figured, why not talk about some Japanese superheroes for a change?
Well, good stuff. Let's talk about some good stuff, right?
And then finally, to finish up, I do want to point out that yes, this is also on Tubi.
Why is he not on the take? I'm literally gonna have to put a super clip to cut together with all of our Tubi conversation with Ironcaster and get a sponsor. That's good. That's real good. So let's see. There's always good stuff coming. I'm always juggling regular reviews. I wrap up my Tulsa King finale that drops tomorrow. The Throwback Thursday. I want to look at what did your take. Give me a little take, Loki. I'm doing the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I thought this was really a great fantasy gateway drug for kids. Like, I'm so happy my kids saw this when they did, because then they went right into Lord of the Rings. I know that's out of order, but reality was once they went through Narnia and kind of got used to the concept of fantasy stuff like that, it kind of like eased them into other fantasy stuff.
I saw the Lion, and the Witch, and the Wardrobe cartoon, the old one.
Yeah, that's
before
OG.
I read Lord of the Rings, so I had absolutely no problem with that.
Yeah, that's my take on that. That's my Thursday, Throwback Thursday this week. The Accountant is next week, and then we'll see what I do after that. So, every Saturday morning with Cartoons with Pops, we're doing X-Men animated and Batman animated. So, yeah, another great episodes there. We do a little Popspective on that. And then Sunday, yes, What's Your Story Sundays. So we will doing a nice conversation with Fat Steven Seagal. Man, oh man, talk about getting someone who's been through some stuff and sharing some thoughts and words of wisdom and experiences and stuff like that. And man, I tell you what, I'm loving the feedback and the experience of the What's Your Story elements. So we'll see how that goes. So
just don't take dieting advice from him.
I don't think dieting comes up any more than your censorship of your language came up in your conversation. So I think we do. I think I handled it pretty well. I think I handled it. Scott says he remembers 5th grade. Yes, reading. Yeah, that's OG stuff, man. No, it's great. I mean, I was happy that my kids grew up in like the perfect time when that movie dropped. So they got them right. Obviously the movies, but also got them into reading it. So it's perfect. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, it's been great. I know we drove all over the road, talking about all sorts of crazy stuff. Can't thank you guys enough. And since credits didn't work, we'll just have some fun. We're going to go out really, really fast with just an OG thing. By the way, if I don't have the links in the description, we can put them out there for the Red Bubbles. You can get your Pops sticker. You can get your Sharkcaster sticker and your Loki Zardoz stickers over at Red Bubble.
God help us.
I know. Well, we need more of those. But in the meantime, folks, be blessed. Make tomorrow better than today. Talk hard. And look forward to seeing you guys next time. All right. But here's a little Ironcaster to have some fun with.
Hey, how you doing?